Hey, what is up guys? It's Genius Jester back with my third video, and you wouldn't believe it. Everything I said in my first video was true. The community absolutely despises projectile. They feel cheated when they die to it, and so much so that the devs have noticed.
I will do what I must.
So, biggest change in the game. If you look in my bottom left corner, you'll notice I have an extra 50 health as Hanzo. This has been a change for all the heroes, which is the biggest change in the game. I think overall, it's a good change, but there are some things about it that have just made all the burst damage heroes, which is mainly projectile, but it hits scan as well, they have just been severely nerfed, especially the projectile heroes. For example, I just headshot a soldier. He still has health left. This is the same for literally every squishy in the game, except for Tracer and Widowmaker, who have slightly less health. Hanzo, as a sniper, because he's supposed to be a sniper hero, cannot one-shot any hero in the game, except for Tracer and Widow. So, this also includes Reaper and Sombra, who he's supposed to be able to one-shot, which quite frankly is kind of just ridiculous, but like I said, people in this game, they just hate, especially in GM and top 500, they call it RNG. They say they just simply do not like the, the projectile heroes. They just don't like them. They feel like if they die to them, it's not a fair death, and this is just a testament to it. So, Hanzo has been affected by the Season 9 changes more than any other hero. He can no longer one-shot any hero except for Tracer and Widowmaker. That includes, let's just go Lucio. If you headshot a Lucio as Hanzo, you're not rewarded with a kill.
Like cherry blossoms in the
If you headshot a... well, who knows? You headshot a Mercy with a Hanzo, you're not rewarded with a kill.
Blood on my
So at this point, what's even the point of picking the hero, honestly? Another massive change has happened. Projectiles are huge. Do you see where that projectile landed? Look how high I have to aim to get a headshot. Actually, I'll show you how high I can aim without getting a headshot. Look at this. Okay, that was a headshot.
Witness the flame of my soul.
Look how high I'm aiming. Oh man, too high again. Might chose a bad hero for this. In any case, the projectiles are huge. See that? I'm aiming at her head, but it's counting as a body shot. That's the moral of the story. You'll notice it when you play. Honestly, I would recommend, if you're playing any projectile hero, just aim slightly above their head. You'll hit more shots. You'll hit more headshots. To make a point of this, I'll show you how high above the head I can hit. Let's just aim, let's say that high. Oh, a little bit too. Oh wow, maybe Mercy wasn't the best example. In any case, I'm aiming a head height above her head right now, but that's still a headshot. So, it's much easier to hit projectile shots now, but they do... oh my god, what the heck? What's that? I believe my internet just spiked me off the map. My internet's not very good right now, so there is massive delay.
Like ash before me. Stay. You go. I'll take you.
So that's the biggest change.
The dragon consumes.
But that's not the only change. Some heroes, like McCree, they don't just have two.
Willpower burns within me.
Yeah, they don't just have 225 HP anymore. They have 275 HP. Every hero has been buffed.
All lives come to
The
an
biggest
end.
change, honestly, that's relevant to every player, is the Tracer change. Tracer, actually I'll just show you real quickly. You looky here, Tracer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She now has 175 HP. Like the old Widowmaker. What does this mean?
Yes, the flame of my
There
soul.
are two heroes that have been strongly affected by this, and they are Ashe and Mei. Ashe used to be able to one-shot Tracer. Now, headshot, melee.
Get out of my way.
She can no longer one-shot Tracer. So Tracer has been indirectly super buffed. Ashe, Mei, super nerfed.
Come on, Snowball. They need our help.
I have to aim that high, by the way, especially with Mei's projectile, which is a fact. Mei used to be able to one-shot, can't do it anymore. So that's the biggest change. McCree, surprisingly, is actually the same.
Someone needs to fill this saddle.
Still just one-shot melees.
Hey, hands
And
off the
there's a reason for
merchandise.
this as well. McCree's not doing more damage with his gun. That's the same amount of damage as he's always done, which is 140 with a headshot. However, another thing we'll talk about is
I
not here.
love a good brawl.
Melee, interestingly enough, it now does a minimum of 35 damage because headshot 140, melee finishes her 175 HP. That means melee must do a minimum of 35 damage. I think it does 40. I could test if it does 40 because. Yes, it does 40. It does at least 40 damage.
I'm really
So
feeling
there you have it. That's the biggest change. It's just a massive change. But continuing on. Let's go Junkrat. Now this is a change that Junkrat has basically been nerfed just as much as Hanzo, really. Because again, like I said in the first video, everyone hates projectile heroes. They just don't like them. They consider them no skill. They just have a, they just have a dislike. I don't know why. I do know why, but like, I think it's silly. I think they should do more damage since they're harder to hit, but that's just me. Let's just put Soldier up. Soldier's a great dummy. You'll notice I did my combo. He's not dead. So, the biggest thing that's been nerfed... Wow, that is some serious lag I've got. Is burst damage. Junkrat can no longer hold a mid-range corner and two-shot any hero. Any hero. He has the random melee as well to confirm. Yeah, another projectile hero nerfed through the house. Mei,
They need our help.
he can no longer one-shot Tracer, but other than that, she's kind of the same, to be honest. Mei can still two-shot anyone, but she can't... She used to be able to headshot, body shot, and that would finish them off. Now it requires a headshot, a body shot, and a melee. And I believe that is the same for McCree. I believe it's headshot, body
Someone
shot,
needs to fill
and
this
melee.
saddle.
Shot, shot, So that's, you know, just another general nerf of the burst damage heroes. Ash, we'll test
I'm the
Ash out,
last
hey?
one you'll ever cross.
Headshot. Body shot. No.
Push over.
Well, actually, we'll test Ash's combo. Okay. Ash used to be able to just do that, and that would kill any 200 HP hero. Now she has to do that twice. Which honestly isn't too bad, because it's still pretty quick burst damage. But it is still another shot, and if targets are moving, you won't be landing that shot that easily. So, definitely a nerf. Definitely a nerf.
Stay out of my way. Better get digging, Bob.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much the biggest change. Ah, another big change.
Tools in hand.
Torbjorn and Reaper. Torbjorn used to be a fantastic character, and Junker Queen, but now 2 headshots doesn't finish him. You need a melee as well. He used to be able to 2 headshot a Reaper. Can't anymore. So that's a nerf. May, however, has actually retained some of her viability. So she can still 2-shot a Reaper. However, May can no longer, which I think this is a good change, Junker Queen and Doomfist. May used to be able to 2-shot a Junker Queen. I don't know if anyone knew that, but she used to be able to 2-shot her, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it. She does counter them, but she shouldn't be able to 2-shot Rush tank. That's a little bit ridiculous. So I'm okay with most of the changes.
Well, you know.
Like, I do think most of them are appropriate, but the only problem I really have is the nerfs to Hanzo and Junkrat. They have been nerfed, especially Hanzo. They have been nerfed so hard that they just plain aren't viable. I have a feeling that they're going to buff Hanzo after a little while, because they're going to notice that, quite simply, no one will be playing it. His viability is just gone. There's just no point. Which is unfortunate, but we'll see what happens. Farah got a big change. Farah got a massive change.
Strike from above.
L3,
Positioning underway.
L2. She now has a boost as well as a concussive boost. So she has a second boost now. Super good for a kit. Super appropriate. And it's to compensate for something. And I'll show you in a second what that is. Just like Junkrat, Farah got the same effect. Let's just do a soldier for our dummy. 1 rocket. 2 rockets. A little bit of health. She needs to land a melee as well with her dive combo. Which I honestly find fine, because now that she has this, she has extra maneuverability. So she actually gets close to their face to melee. So I think it's completely appropriate. I just don't think it's appropriate for Junkrat or Hanzo, because they want to hold at a mid-range to long range for Hanzo. Mid-range for Junkrat, long range for Hanzo. They want to keep them away. That's what they're designed to do, and the way they've changed these heroes is they now have a melee combo. Hanzo doesn't want to melee combo a Reaper who's approaching. He wants to kill him from a range. So I think it's quite ridiculous that they've just done this nerf for him. He should have been compensated with 10 more damage. Hanzo, I suppose some people could interpret it as, what's the point in having Widowmaker, but Hanzo should be rewarded for hitting your projectile shots. It is incredibly difficult to hit a Genji, an Echo, or a Pharah with a headshot with Hanzo's weapon. So, in my opinion, Widow should do enough damage to single shot, headshot, Echo, Genji, and Pharah. Hanzo should as well, don't get me wrong. Hanzo should do enough damage to single shot, headshot him, but he never will because it's projectile. Widow, in my opinion, should not do enough damage to kill, I know this sounds bizarre, but Tracer, Sombra, and Reaper. I don't think she should do enough damage. I think she should do 10 damage under their health. I think it should be the opposite of what they've done in the game. But because the community favours hit scan so much and hates projectiles so much, they've done the opposite of what they should. They've basically gave in to what the community wanted, which I suppose is fair enough because they're just businessmen at the end of the day. But the game was better when projectile heroes did more damage per second. And that was the reward for hitting a projectile. But now hitscan does the same, if not more. And it's just quite unfortunate, if you ask me. Quite unfortunate. Yeah, it's just quite unfortunate. Hanzo, yeah, he should be able to one-shot a Reaper. He should be able to one-shot a Sombra. It's just so inappropriate that he can't. Junkrat should be able to burst damage them as well. It sucks that the community can't see the value in these heroes, and appreciate them for what they are. But yeah, they just can't. They're just too. They don't actually. I genuinely believe that people don't actually like the game, and that they only like winning the game. Because if people liked the game, they would have liked the way projectile heroes were earlier. But you know, it's not my game, so I don't write the rules. But yeah. In any case, they're just my thoughts on it. Where was I up to? I've gone a bit over Reaper, 300 HP, Sombra 250, Tracer 175. Hanzo can't one-shot the Sombra or the Reaper, which is just ridiculous, but he can at least still one-shot the Tracer, which is fair enough. And I like the fact, don't get me wrong, like I actually like the fact that Tracer now takes a headshot and a melee for heroes like Mei and Ashe. I actually like that change. Don't get me wrong, I think that's appropriate. They shouldn't be able to one-shot delete Tracer. Tracer should be able to get headshot, recall that. I totally believe that, because they have a quicker rate of fire. Snipers should definitely... Yeah, snipers should delete Tracer as well. I just think that Hanzo should be able to delete Reaper and delete Sombra as well. It's my opinion. It is what it is. Yeah, that's all there really is to it. Can't really change it, can we? That's what they've decided. Yeah, let's just go over the different hero categories. We'll do it the same way we did it with the tanks. If you followed the first video, you should already know the 4 categories. So, the 3 defensive dive heroes are Echo, Genji, and Pharah. They counter the 6 defensive hit scan heroes, which are Ashe, Widow, where's that other burst damage one? Ashe, Widow, McCree, all burst damage. Sojourn, technically burst damage with her charged railgun, but obviously her primary fire is projectile, but the main value of Sojourn is to hit headshots with the railgun, so she's primarily hit scans. So that's what I kind of think of her as. So, 4 burst damage hit scan, 2 fully automatic tracking hit scan, Soldier 76 and Bastion. Echo, Genji, and Pharah. Oh, I've made a mistake. Oh, forget it. Scratch that. I was supposed to be listing off the projectile heroes. Because, yeah, they don't counter that. Echo, Genji, and Pharah, they counter Hanzo, Junkrat, Mei, and Torbjorn. And if she does not have her railgun charged, they also counter Soap. But if she does have a railgun charged, it switches over. So 50-50 for Soji. She's a unique hero. I guess you could say that with Soldier 76's rockets, but we won't go that deep. So yeah, they counter those 4, maybe 5 if you count Sojourn heroes. And these 5 heroes, Hanzo, Junkrat, Mei, Torbjorn, and Sojourn, they counter, well, the 3 Rush heroes, Reaper, Sombra, and Tracer. Get in, do damage, get out with their invulnerability. That's what these 3 Rush heroes do. They have no vertical maneuverability, but they go forward quickly. They go forward quickly with teleport, invisible run, and blink. They get out safely with Wraithborn, teleport out, and recall. They all do high short-range damage. That's another very important factor. Massive short-range damage, massive short-range damage, massive short-range damage. Yeah, they're the 3 Rush heroes. Who do these 3 Rush heroes counter? Well, if we're following the same logic, they counter the defensive hit scan. So, I talked about how they counter Widow before, and her difficulty to turn around while scoped in. She has to unscope, scope back in again, and her charge shot takes the longest in the game. So that's why they counter her. They counter Ashe for the same reason. They counter McCree for the same reason. Bastion for the same reason. Theoretically, they all do less damage per second than the projectile heroes. Only issue is, projectile heroes have all been nerfed, so... yeah, just... Hello. Good.
Plenty of bombs to go around.
So yeah, that's what I have to do.
What a lob!
Sorry, my brother just called me. Is what it is. Anywho, sorry, I didn't expect that call, but it is what it is. Where was I? Let's see. Just talking about counters of the DPS, right? We talked about the 3 offensive dive heroes countering the 5 defensive projectile heroes, who counter the 3 offensive rush heroes, Reaper, Tracer, and Sombra, due to their flanking behind them, doing a whole heap of damage, again, just like the tanks, except the tanks don't do as much flanking. They have more sustain. Lots of damage, high sustain. They can't do enough damage back in time. And that's exactly the same with Reaper, Tracer, and Sombra against all these matchups. Bastion can't do enough damage in time. Ashe can't do enough damage in time. McCree can't do enough damage in time. On the condition that they've made a close range to their targets. So, yeah, that's why they counter them. It's as simple as that. Yeah, it applies to Ashe. Oh, there goes my controller. It applies to Ashe, Bastion, Soldier, McCree, Widow, and Sojourn. Let me just put this on the chat tray. Gonna need to charge a lot of stuff soon. Yeah, I don't care, it's my first time doing YouTube, so whatever. As long as I get used to it, I can make better videos later. So yeah, that's why they counter. And let's move on. So who does Ashe, Bastion, McCree, Soldier, Sojourn, Soldier, and Widow counter? These are all ranged hit scan heroes that can hit shots at a range, hit headshots at a range without any time between their shots. Well, this counters Echo, this counters Genji, and this counters Pharah. Because when you select these heroes, that's the advantage you're trying to get, is in not being headshot at a range and not being shot at a range. They just click on them at a range and you can't dodge it because it's just too quick. Their whole kit is based around dodging damage and then applying more damage back. But they can't dodge a bullet. Like the old McCree adage, you may be fast, but you can't dodge a bullet. I think McCree literally actually says that. I think he says, you may be fast, Genji, but you can't dodge a bullet. And Genji has some Japanese retort. It's quite wholesome. But yeah, and that's how the cycle works with damage. We got a little bit more insight into the rush heroes, is that they rush and do a lot of damage at a close range, which when I think about it, Junker Queen does a lot of damage at a close range when she rushes. Malga does a lot of damage at close range when he rushes.
it is double fire, having more spread. Reinhardt does a lot of damage at close range for self-explanatory reasons. Orisa does a lot of damage at close range. Yes, her gun also does the same at a long range, but it has its projectile, so she'll miss shots at a long range. Not to mention her spear is very effective at throwing people into walls at a close range. So yeah, they're close range rush tanks. It's important to remember that, just like dive tanks are close range dive tanks. Hammond might be the only exception, to be honest with you. But Hammond still wants to get close. So yeah, offensive heroes want to be close, all of them. Hence why they're offensive. Defensive heroes want to be ranged, all of them. Hence why they're defensive. So yeah. I think that covers it for DPS. That took a little bit longer than I thought it would. Got a little bit interrupted as well with my brother making a phone call, but that's okay. I might leave it there. I'll be covering the supports in the next video, and maybe a little bit more, since I'll probably have time to talk about a bit more than just the supports. Yeah, I'll see you next time.